Once upon a time, a bunch of teenage girls got stranded in the wilderness. They hunted their friends, feasted on their flesh, and they went completely nuts.
People are willing to do some messed up stuff just to see another day.
I think Natalie knows what Coach Scott is.
Does she deserve to be the leader?
Instead of doing what was right for us, she did what she wanted to do. So tonight, we'll give the wilderness what it wants.
Aren't you worried about what we're gonna have to tell people if we get back? This place will follow us for the rest of our lives.
Someone wants us dead.
Don't think for a second I won't get to the bottom of this.
Are you hiding something?
Think about how screwed up we would be if we had survived a plane crash only to end up eating each other.
Oh, I do.
The only people that know about this are either us or dead.
The only way to truly be safe is to be the only one left. This is not healthy.
You really are insane.
Secrets will be spilled. Yellowjackets, new season streaming February.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's okay. Missy was like, "Oh, you're all quiet." It's like, you know why we're quiet? It's because we had not cracked the whip, and I had forgotten. I was all getting there. Tonight, yes, we're doing the TV roundup, which is great. The second part 2
Hang
of
on,
the TV roundup.
with the TV roundup.
Yes.
Isn't that when you meant to do the thing?
Oh yeah.
You
There we go.
specifically set it up for that.
Or maybe that's the bit. Yeah, look, okay. And as I said earlier, we are also cracking the whip because tonight is a very special night because it's fucking Andor. And I haven't watched it yet.
Jill has.
Yeah, I got home early from the office today, so I was able to get stuck into it.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jill.
So you know, for a good quick show's a good show, guys. Okay, everyone, are we all happy with that? Yellowjackets, you know, well done. I'm really looking forward to seeing the conclusion to the start of the Girl Guides in America. Daredevil's back again. Check it, direct it. Let's begin. And Andor's really good. I gotta keep going. Anyway.
Yep. So that's it. That's all we're doing. There's no actual reviews. You've just covered everything.
No, just go. Yep. Okay. It's time.
Even though you haven't actually seen the last season of Yellowjackets,
just going to be tapping through. Hey, settle down. I had all intention, but then my Easter was not very TV friendly.
Right.
But that's okay because I watched that trailer and I'm like, I like this. This is good. This is girls killing each other, taking shrooms, hanging out.
There's so many shrooms.
Hanging out in a forest. Why would you not like this show? I kind of look at it like I liked Hannibal. Remember that one?
Yes.
It's a beautiful show. And I kind of look at this and go, this is just kind of Hannibal adjacent.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
Hannibal for teenage girls.
Yeah. What's the weird combination of Hannibal and Clueless.
Oh. Yeah.
Clunanable.
Yeah. Yeah. On Tuesdays, we wear blood.
I kind of see how that could work.
On we wear skins. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Finally, I mean,
It's a Mean Girls quote, not Clueless. But anyway. And it's Wednesdays, not Tuesdays.
I'm leaving.
Look, we're all giddy.
Look, I didn't know what the Battle of Yaren or Yavin or whatever the fuck it was is called, so.
You're killing me, Jill. You're killing me.
Okay.
Wait. Also, we may just have we'll give at the end of the show. We'll give our social reaction to Thunderbolts Asterix.
Yes,
because we saw that last night, which is why the show's on Wednesday night tonight. Which is why I'm trying to make it really fast because I want to go and watch Andor.
Okay, we've picked up on that. So, we haven't actually talked about Yellowjackets at all on the show before.
No, not at all.
We've talked around it.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to give you a real quick premise of it. This is something akin to a synopsis. I don't know whether we've got music for that kind of thing, but whatever. And I'm not going to try and do it with an accent because I don't know what accent is there for this.
Forest nymph.
I was going to say, give us your best Melanie Linsky.
Oh. Oh. Hang on. Melanie Linsky is a child? Where it's just like, no, kill them all.
No, her as her character from 2.5 Men.
My head's breaking.
This is whiplashed hell.
Yeah. Okay. So the premise of Yellowjackets: in 1996, a high school girls soccer team from the fictional town of Wissahickok in New Jersey travels to Seattle for a national championship tournament. While flying over Canada, their plane crashes deep in the wilderness and the surviving team members are left stranded for 19 months. And the series chronicles their attempts to stay alive as some of the team members are driven to just a bit of light cannibalism. It also focuses on the lives of the survivors 25 years later in 2021/onwards, as the events of the ordeal continue to affect them in many ways after their rescue. It's what's the movie Alive, or the Society of the Snow? You know, the one where the men's soccer team got lost in the Andes.
Well, they had a plane crash in the Andes.
Well, yeah, sorry, plane crash in the.
They didn't just go for a walk in the Andes.
I mean, they were lost.
How many days was it? It's like second hour in, they're like, we're gonna have to eat someone.
So there is a movie on Netflix called The Society of the Snow, which is shot in the exact place where the plane was crashed.
That is bad karma, man.
It is fucked
choice.
up. Like, the decision-making process of how do we go from being, well, we're all here, to that looks like meat to me. Yeah.
Okay, is that the synopsis?
That's the synopsis. Yes.
Excellent.
2021. It's gotten real.
Yeah. Look, Yellowjackets is a great cast because it actually gets to have two casts. Because you get to have the modern day cast, which is full of great actors, and you also get to have the flashback cast, which is full of great actors. And it's a really intriguing story, and I love what they're doing with it, and I enjoyed season 1 and 2.
Yes.
I look forward to finally watching all of season 3, and I can binge it now.
You can.
You can.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
And I'm super looking forward to seeing the feral horned chainmail witch coven thing running, which sort of turns up a little bit at the first season, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then it's like, how do they get there? These are all just soccer players. And it's making sense. It hasn't gone completely off the rails because you're kind of understanding this strange descent into cannibalistic tribal madness because it doesn't make dumb decisions. Dummish.
And you kind of think, oh wow, they're all so well adjusted in their present lives, but then, from the case.
Oh my god. Like, yeah, first season you're like, oh, they're doing pretty well for people that have done a bit of like cannibalism and stuff like that. Second season you're like, oh no, they're probably a little bit fucked up. I got through this third season and I finally realized, I'm not entirely sure where in the season I went, oh, Sean is actually the villain, right?
Yes, I was like so on board with Shauna for like season 1 and 2.
Yep.
And now season 3, I'm like, oh, she's the most fucked up of them all.
Yes, my wordy. And
we
like,
all thought, oh, what was the hippy dippy girl? What was her name?
Yeah.
Look, there are a lot. I mean, I forgive you if you can't remember.
Looking her up. Not Courtney, not Liv.
Like Charlotte or something.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah, Lottie, that's it. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, we all thought that she was the nutbag, but I think she's probably the one that had her head screwed on the tightest. But yeah. And then Christina Ricci's character. Why have I just mind blanked all of a sudden? Misty. Holy shit.
Samantha
Misty.
Hanratty.
Misty is so fucking annoying.
So annoying.
So annoying. And she does not stop being annoying.
No, I kind of expected that maybe there was going to be a thing of character development and growth and stuff like that. But like they made her more annoying, and then they brought in like some sort of guest stars to bounce off her that managed to make her more annoying.
Yeah. Are we talking about Elijah Wood?
We are indeed.
I mean,
someone that matches her freak.
I feel like the character that Elijah Wood's playing in this is actually what would happen in a modern day Frodo. Does that make sense? Like, you sort of go and live with your rich uncle and you don't have to worry about anything and you can just engage in your pursuits as you wish. And that's kind of how Frodo would have ended up with a trust fund. Does that make sense? Yeah.
A weird kind of chronically online fucking semi-stalker. Yeah,
the One Ring is just the internet. That's his.
God.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my theory. Did you guys? How much of season 3 did you all watch?
Oh, I've seen all of it.
Great.
All of it.
Just double checking. And my question for this is: am I going to have a good time? Am I going to enjoy season 3? I enjoyed season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the intrigue and where the mystery is kind of still developing, and we're learning. Yeah, we're learning more bits and pieces. I really thought that we'd like get to a rescue in this season, but still nothing.
Well, apparently they planned it out as a 5-year thing, and I was like,
oh,
really? That's an awful lot of time to try and drag out the 19 months of being in the woods. But yeah, this season they threw in a few extra sort of more interesting things that, like, there are people who stumble across them.
I don't know how much longer we can be in that period, because they've already seen 2 winters now, and if they're only out there for 19 months, then they're not going to see a third one. So it's got to be wrapping up soon.
Maybe it just ramps up pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. But also, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they were to do like the 19 months of whatever in the woods, and then show the first year of them being back in society.
Oh yeah. That would
be interesting. Like there has to have been a lot of decision making as a survivor group to go, we're never talking about this. And this is the official story. Do not fucking, deviate and all that kind of stuff. So I could imagine that there's probably enough to dig through there. And there's always the question of, is there something supernatural happening, or are they just fucking a horrible, messy group of fucking weirdos, really?
It's definitely the latter, because I will tell you, when I was 14 years old, I was making all sorts of woo-woo shit up as well. Who didn't, with their group of girlfriends, all want to pretend to be witches? I mean, the fucking craft set us on a path. I mean,
has a lot to answer for, yeah.
Yeah. I would 100% be out in those woods believing everything and doing my DIY ayahuasca camp on the side.
but the other question is also, but cannibalism? Like I also feel like this is an interesting show that is kind of like, oh yeah, and they did some cannibalism. And everyone's like, oh yeah, okay.
The one thing that I did not believe this season was the baby animal petting zoo.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was kind of like,
excuse me, where do you get all these tame rabbits and baby deer and ducks from? Like, this is bonkers.
Just remember the main through line of this season, as I understand it, having not seen it, is that everyone's kind of high on mushrooms, right?
I believe that
So maybe
the whole past thing is a fever dream. I don't think any of it's real.
right.
What? As in, you think that they didn't kill anyone? They didn't do anything like that?
I think that all of like the witchy woo-woo stuff that we're seeing is all like embellishments and just like what they think happened. But in reality, I don't think any of this really happened like they are showing us.
They're just projecting.
Yeah.
And you've got like, and I mean, you've got a couple of characters who do have pretty serious mental health issues, like Tanisha, Taisha, sorry. Like she's definitely got some pretty serious mental health stuff going on. She's suffering from dissociative identity disorder. Like, and that's the kind of thing that can seem kind of supernaturally powerful if you did, you're literally disassociating and somebody else is driving your body. So yeah, and it does that thing that I was talking to somebody else about it the other day, how much I don't particularly love it in movies and stuff where they have the dead person returning to have a conversation with you.
Oh yes.
Never a big fan of that. I was
classic,
just like, I know it's a trope, but you must have Ella
hated
Purnell keeps getting jobs.
You must have hated Star Wars then, Quinny.
But that wasn't a ghost. That was a force ghost.
Oh, was it?
Big difference, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of them, that is Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's still kind of around in some way, as opposed to the other person's imagined conversation with, unless Luke's really fucked up.
Maybe that's just what the Force is. It's like space ayahuasca. He thinks he can move stuff.
Lost along the way.
He thinks he can move stuff with his mind. Oh, just go along with it. Great. I'm looking forward to Yellowjackets season 3. So we'll get around to it eventually.
There's some new cast that's fun. Like we lost Juliette Lewis. Which I was very sad for, because I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, it's been a great cast on both sort of spectrums, which is great.
Yeah, I think Natalie's my favorite character. I kind of follow her storyline.
Yeah, and now we don't have that, but they bring in God, what's her name? Punching 10,000 something baby.
Oh, Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. That's right.
I know.
10,000 punching baby.
million dollar.
10,000 punching baby is now the only way I shall refer to that film. It's the official asylum release of it. It's 10,000 punching baby. It's just someone hitting a bunch of babies. Oh God!
It's like that house of 1,000
corpses.
I don't know. Death of 1,000 tiny cuts.
9 single balloons.
Oh God! Yes, we can all do that, and eventually we'll get around to Death of a Sales Force when that company folds. Oh dear.
Yeah,
okay, that's great. Right,
it's good fun, and I'm glad that they've got at least one more season in it.
I feel like we've wasted too much time on Yellowjackets because it's already about 8 o'clock and we haven't even moved on to Daredevil yet. So
we're fine. Hit the next trailer.
Time to go to Daredevil.
Jeez.
Hands in the fucking air!
When I
was a kid, I thought God had given me a special destiny. Like a mask and a purpose could save me. My mistake was thinking I was immune to the darkness.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature.
Tough guy, huh?
Not at all. It's time to embrace your true self.
Wow. That was fun and dark and moody. And finally, we've got Daredevil season 1. It's 4 through the 4. Look, I have just I literally just finished watching Daredevil Born Again finale. So I've seen it all now. I can officially
Rebel,
say that.
resist.
Yeah, stranger that the last 2 TV series that we are talking about tonight have a lot of themes about rebellion against authoritative state.
Yeah.
Gotta admit, maybe should have paid more attention to some of the Netflix Daredevil show, because I got a little bit lost in some of the people that came back, and I'm like, who's that person? Oh, that is the Bullseye. Okay.
You forgot Bullseye?
I forgot Bullseye.
He was like the last fucking villain in the last season. Like, the whole thing ended with like the ambiguity of like him still being around.
I just got to admit, like the original Daredevil TV show, I agree with something that Quinny said earlier today, which was it came out with like the Defenders and Iron Fist, and there was just a lot of television, and I perhaps didn't pay enough attention to Daredevil season 3. And then I came into Born Again and I was like, wait, what?
Like, I was totally on board for seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil. And then I can't remember where the Defenders happened in relation to season 3, but I know I wasn't as tightly invested in season 3. So I remembered some of the stuff about Bullseye, but wasn't as clear on the sort of through line of that last season. And to be honest, Defenders kind of left a bit of a shit taste in the mouth. It didn't work particularly well. And so, yeah, I don't know. Something about that last season just didn't grab me. However, fucking love this.
When I started this one, I was like, oh, it's been given the Disney treatment. Like, it didn't feel as gritty and lived in as the Netflix series to me, even though it's got like all the same showrunners and creatives like on it. It just, there was something about it that just smelt a bit different.
Sure.
But there was some really clever stuff that they did with it that I appreciated in the cinematography. And it was like a lot to do with the changes of the aspect ratio when we're seeing Matt use his powers. And I thought that stuff was kind of cool. Like when he's listening for something, the screen like got really narrow. And then when we were like getting the rest of the room, then it would go back to like the full depth. That kind of stuff I thought was really cool kind of effect.
Yeah.
Still using a lot of cinematic language in making things look, rather than doing the Ben Affleck Daredevil where it just goes into sonar mode.
It's a series that had some pretty rocky production. So and when now you can see the whole season, you kind of can see where things like butted up against each other and stuff. So the first episode and the last 2 episodes were the things that were produced essentially entirely in reshoot.
Okay, that makes so much sense because the first episode, I'm like, ugh, I'm not digging this.
Because so initially they'd gone off in a particular direction, and that direction was everything from episodes 2 to 6 or whatever it was, which was the White Tiger storyline,
Yeah.
the Muse storyline, and you know, you can tell because there's no Karen, there's not much talk of Foggy in there, you know, there's no references to Punisher and stuff like that. You know, it's a lot more Disney. You know, there's Kamala Khan being mentioned, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that bank episode was another one that really stunk of the wink nudge that I kind of really hated.
Yeah, we've got to. It's the Marvel universe, so we have to at least acknowledge some other property that is related to this in a way that is offensively shoehorned.
Yeah, but the way that episode kind of ended as well, there was just a moment that I was like, ick, hated that.
Yeah. There were a few of those moments in there that I was like, woof, Jesus.
Yeah, it was the hiding the jewel in the candy dish thing that really just fucking made me want to vomit. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Hey, but at least
it felt very friendly.
But at least
it was way too comic booky.
But at least we got my favorite supervillain Muse.
Okay. Tell me why.
Tell me more.
Okay, I'm being facetious. I didn't like that at all. I did not.
Who Dion?
I did not care for that. I quite enjoyed the opening thing with Bullseye. Like once I figured out that it was Bullseye, and I was like, "Wait, that guy." And then I liked the kind of fights later. Like that was kind of where it got me. Like the first and the start and the finish of the season were really kind of great for that stuff, and the middle, felt kind of a bit disjointed and a bit kind of dull, really. Because what I want to see fucking Matt Murdock, fighting crime at night by punching people in the spine, and then going into the courtroom and defending the little guy. That's what it's all about.
There were some fucking vicious, like, even though those middle 5 episodes or whatever are, not as, they don't feel as much like the Daredevil that we've had.
Well, I mean, there is no Daredevil.
No, well, that's really it,
suit.
isn't it? It's like he's not putting on the suit. But there were still a couple of fights in there that I was like, holy fucking shit. Like the one with the bad cops in the
apartment.
The apartment that I was like, Jesus Christ. And that's something that I was pleasantly surprised by, that this show for a Disney, Marvel thing was not shying away from some pretty fucking...
It lent heavily into the Netflix Punisher Daredevil kind of vibe, which I think you're right, Jill, saying earlier. It's like, hey, we want to take that gritty aspect and pull it through you. But it was a little bit more violent than I remember, some of the other ones. And I was just like, oh, okay. And that's also right. Yes, the Punisher is a psychopath and should always be portrayed as a psychopath and was a psychopath. And like, okay.
But I did like that they addressed the issue that we saw in real life where police were like co-opting that Punisher symbol.
Yeah, they still do it.
Yeah, I know they still do.
Yeah,
I loved that scene. I think it's in the last episode where he's been captured by a bunch of cops and is literally said, "You guys are fucking clowns."
Yeah.
And that to me was very, very much Marvel / whatever saying, "You don't understand this symbol. Stop fucking wearing it." Like, and I'm hoping a few more people got that. But I gotta say, I was okay. I enjoyed myself through most of the season. The last couple of episodes, I was like, holy fucking shit. Just because it felt like, and also the first episode to a degree, like that first episode where Fisk gets voted in as mayor. I think like everybody else felt like, oh shit, this is like what it was after Trump won the election. And then you get to the last couple of episodes and you're like, oh, and this is what it's like now Trump's running the fucking show.
Except
And
this was written when?
2 fucking years ago, which
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah, but it came from the Mayor Kingpin storyline in the comics. It's decades old anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I pointed out to somebody on one of those fucking social media things, I was like, yes, it was written 2 years ago. And you know why? Because they wrote Kingpin like a fucking villain. And it just so happens that your president is acting like a fucking comic book villain. Yeah. Anyway, that means I'm not getting into America for at least for the next, I don't know.
Yeah, our Twitch stream has been flagged.
Well, there you go. Shit happens.
Yes. Yeah, look, apart from all of that and like those things, I love seeing everyone return. I didn't really understand the Bullseye thing. That's on me. I get that. I like seeing, Punisher turn up. And I just want to see more of Daredevil. Do I feel? I felt like it was a little bit too Kingpin heavy.
Yep.
And I feel that's why they got D'Onofrio back, because it's like, oh, this show is about me, and it's like, kind of. It's not really about you. It's more about Daredevil. But I mean, sure, if you want to come in, I'm glad you came back. You're giving it all it's worth. I just don't really.
But the thing with Daredevil is, though, he's a localized hero, and so all of like his storylines have to be localized as well. So that's why we have to focus so heavily on just New York City and the Kingpin and that kind of stuff. He's not doing the big shit.
I just felt there was too like a lot of exposition running at like a Kingpin and his motivations, and I'm like, no, I quite get that he's a terrible sociopath masquerading as a responsible citizen to take power, and I was just like, okay, I got that. I just want to see more Daredevil. Where's the red guy in the suit flying around?
Yeah, I did enjoy seeing the characters that are surrounding Kingpin now, like his the people in his office, and like that political kind of intrigue and stuff, like the intern that leveled up like crazy.
Yeah, white privilege, the man child.
Yeah, exactly. The Don Jr. and
yeah, God, yeah. I like those. I really kind of enjoyed, because I do find I like watching D'Onofrio. I really enjoyed watching from the beginning of the season of him in some ways, because he's also just gone through all that weird shit in Echo. Him actually
forgot about that.
Yeah. Him going from being perhaps trying to be a better person to realizing that he can't stop being him, and all of the people around him, when the police chief says to him, like, you're always going to be the fucking Kingpin, it doesn't matter what you say. You can see him go, fuck, I'm trying to be something other than I am. And that to me is what the whole series is about, is two men trying to be something other than what they are.
Yeah, but at the core they can't deny who they are. Like Kingpin is a guy who still has a piece of art on his wall that is the blood splatter from his father's brain. Like, this is a fucked up guy.
Yeah. And Vanessa.
Oh my God.
Why did you say that name?
The voice.
I was amazed that actually shot the entire series and then went back and then went, no, we can't do this without the actor for Vanessa. So they went and reshot all of her shit.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. They had a different actor playing Vanessa.
Oh, wow.
And then they went, actually, no, it doesn't work, because if you bring in the original Foggy and the original Karen and the Punisher, you can't just change Vanessa's. So
tell that to most producers in Hollywood for the last 30 years, Quinny.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a whole new world of Disney-backed Marvel shenanigans.
I had a moment of panic in that first episode because there was one really hinky fucking piece of CGI. Like it's a cool shot where Daredevil swings down onto a fire escape with his little cool billy clubs and everything. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's not good CGI. And I thought, oh no. Oh, no.
But there wasn't a scene of him taking out the billy clubs and climbing up a wall like Gambit. Remember? It's not that bad.
Very good reason.
It's not that bad. Look, Daredevil Born Again. Is it Born Again in your watching list?
I mean, yeah, by the time I got to the end, I watched the last episode. I'm like, damn, can't wait for the next one. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that was the last episode. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. But thankfully, the good thing is, it's been renewed.
Good.
It's been renewed, but also the next season is entirely made by the people who did the first and last episodes.
Right.
So we don't have that whole, kind of uneven thing.
Okay.
Let's hope.
And realistically, they're the original showrunners of the Netflix show, so they're getting to make their show again.
Okay. And just remember, like, hopefully they'll be able to, by the time it comes out next year, they'll be able to put a lot of new people in to be able to get, vertical integration of all the other Marvel New York adjacent.
Well, know what he said at the end. I'm gonna need an army.
Waka waka.
Oh god.
I mean, you've got a friendly
made everybody going, oh, we're gonna get Jessica Jones and we're gonna get Power Man and stuff. And I was like, oh, please, no more Danny Rand. No.
Where's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
I did read about this. Apparently, Spider-Man is legally not allowed to appear in TV.
Oh.
And the Kingpin is not allowed to legally appear in the films.
Oh,
so
wow.
at no point in time are we ever going to get Spider-Man versus the Kingpin.
Yeah.
For whatever fucking reason.
That's bullshit.
Oh, well. Get the Young Avengers in.
Yeah. Young Avengers. Yes. Exactly. Get the Young Avengers in.
We've got so many characters
fuck
now.
It. Just throw a fucking curveball and introduce the X-Men in season 2 of Daredevil.
That's a power move.
Yeah,
Kamal Khan technically is a mutant, so.
That is true.
Oh, come on.
And you know what her dad says about her.
Oh, of course I do, because I watched the fucking season. Should we go to the next thing?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, go on.
I came with you to be part of something. The Empire cannot win. It's a different kind of mission. If it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
But if I'm giving up everything, I want to win. We have to. We must stand together. We will be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
It's a weapon. They're building a weapon. The monster will come for us all.
Revolution is not for the saying. You're right here, and you're ready to fight. There's a future here for those who dare. Welcome to the rebellion.
Thank you there, Queenie. Mendo. Just happy to see Mendo. Okay, Andor season 2. We've been waiting for this a little while.
Unlimited Mendo.
Unlimited Mendo. So far,
Mendo
thankfully,
leading the meeting with corporate.
Yeah.
Get those guys from Optics down here.
So
fully catered. Get the people from Optics in.
I love it. It's all good. It's all good. Thankfully, there have only been 3 episodes of Andor that have been out currently that we can discuss.
Oh, are you sure? That's all there was?
Shut up.
Oh, do we have to put our fingers in our ears and you can talk about episodes 4 and 5?
4, 5, 6.
But not...
Yeah, I've only seen 4 and 5. After this, I'll go and finish it and watch
Look,
6.
after the first season of Andor came out and everyone went, holy shit, It's fucking awesome.
That was fucking good.
It has literally been the only thing people have been concerned about when an announcement has come out of Star Wars. It's like, oh, we're going to re-release Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, because blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, eh.
Yeah, cool. Great. Anyway, about that
When's
next
Andor?
episode. Yeah.
Although, if you did you see the box office report of Revenge of the Sith?
Did really well, didn't it?
It did $45 million in the opening weekend.
Wow.
Which is bigger than some, you know.
That's like right up there with Sinners last
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah. So it's
Wow.
everyone's just kind of like, oh, right. It's like, yeah, Star Wars has bank. It can do shit. But you know what does even better bank is fucking Andor season 2.
Oh yeah.
I'm down with it. I got there the whole way. The first 3 episodes that came out last week were amazing and had a lovely time. And now, Jill, is it frustrating to watch the fuck out of this Andor TV show and go, fuck, all those costumes are amazing, and how difficult would they be to recreate as a cosplay?
Oh my God.
Or is it just not inspo?
I'm not looking at the costumes.
I know the political intrigue is way more engaging there. It takes you away from it.
Kind of is, honestly. Like,
Holy shit,
this
yeah.
is the kind of stuff that I'm just like eating up. Like when I saw the trailer for Andor season 1, I'm like, oh, this looks like it's going to be interesting. Because yes, I love Star Wars, and I've gotten into Star Wars more in the last 5 years. Thank you, COVID, for letting me like completely binge all of Clone Wars, because that, like, the lore. If you want me to get into something, tell me the fucking lore and I will get into that shit. Except for Lord of the Rings. Sorry, can't do that one. And
You
I
guys want to hear
got
about Rivendell of Thimblety Thum Thum?
so hard into Star Wars, and I like all the action stuff. All that stuff's really fun. But then when you tell me that there's like this, okay, here's the whole political system though, and all of the ins and outs of the Empire, and like the Senate and stuff trying to stop the Empire from getting too much control, and it's like, oh, what's that like? And I'm like, okay, this is probably the most boring part of Star Wars, but I am eating it up. I loved season 1. Good. And so yeah, give me more of that.
I love that, you know, the beginning of episode 1, you know, way back when, started with possibly the most boring crawl of all, saying that there's a trade dispute over taxation of space lanes. And now all of America understands what tariffs are.
Exactly. Yeah.
And suddenly it's actually applicable. And now Andor is like, hey, you know, fascist states. So that
Talk to me
shit's
about how
applicable.
controlling a planet that only exports fabric is going to stop the rebels.
Like the whole Gorman thing, I was like, where is this going? But I trust them. I trust them to tell me a really fucking interesting story.
But I mean, this is the thing that I really like about it, because it presents stuff that is like kind of mildly interesting. But I love the way they're presenting the Empire in this, because it is the banality of evil. And this is the thing I'm loving about Andor. You know, the stuff that we get from the Empire is giant ships, big white armies, all this kind of stuff, you know, decimation. No, what Andor is showing you is when it comes down to the fucking bureaucracy and how people live day to day under the Empire, it sounds boring as fuck, but it has such consequences for people who are alive in that universe.
And also, most of the people that are alive in Coruscant, wherever, it doesn't necessarily impact them day to day until they butt up against the edge of it. And that's what fascism is. The trains ran on time until I was slightly too late getting on the train, and then I was arrested and flown to fucking El Salvador, you know?
Exactly.
And they made me build a super weapon that was going to fucking kill me in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a coincidence that this season they're talking about having visas?
Yeah. Not chain codes.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a little bit of that last season when, you know, Andor was just arrested on spurious charges, shipped off to a prison planet, you know, and had to break out because of a case of not even mistaken identity, just like, we need people. You know?
I remember watching that and feeling so angry as I watched it because it felt so ridiculously unfair that, you know, this guy who had gotten away with an amazing theft and, you know, people had died and there was all of this loss and pain and, you know, he was doing all this shit. And finally, he just takes a break, goes to the beach planet. But
And that's when it all came undone.
and it all comes undone because he just happens to be walking in the wrong place and
At the wrong
some
time.
petty little cunt decides I'm gonna you know I'm gonna say, oh, but you were running.
Yeah. I'm just going to make up a charge to
Yeah.
reach my quota. And then they're going to go, I'm just following orders. Oh, look, all of this stuff is coming out. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 episode, seasons. How did we go with them? I really enjoyed the first. So it's kind of 3 distinct parts. It's what's happening in the Empire through the ISB, what's happening with Mon Mothma on Chandrila, and then what's happening to Andor and his buddies. I really like the bits I like about that was I don't know why, but I'm absolutely loving watching Mon Mothma's internal structural collapse of her psyche, and
I never knew I would care so
horrible.
much about her.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like I love watching it because you know that inside she is just being destroyed, but outside it's just this blank sort of face, and that matches so well to that later Mon Mothma that we see, which is like, this is a haunted woman. How did she get so haunted?
Yeah, this is a woman who is going through it. Like,
Yeah.
she's having to deal with her marriage falling apart, her daughter marrying another family, and the kid's a piece of shit.
And
then,
the family is a crime family.
yeah, and then also having to deal with trying to get her bills passed in the Senate and stop the Empire from like seizing too much control of the galaxy.
And funneling money into a rebellion.
Oh my God, how does she keep so many plates spinning? She's a woman.
And also trying to keep, you know, a little bit of the heat off her ex-lover, who is funding all
Maybe
of this.
going very badly right now.
I mean,
A little bit, maybe.
Talk about the tragedy and the horror of this. One of the things, you know, was in the second episode or the third episode, where her husband, you know, basically just goes, I always thought you were fucking someone else, and I don't really care.
Yeah,
and it was just
how's
like
it going with your lover over there?
yeah, and you're just kind of going, her entire world is crumbling while she's trying to stave off the destruction of the galaxy, yet her own personal story is all fucked up. But yes.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. Like, there was that beautiful scene. I've seen some people sort of going, I don't understand why it was Mon Mothma dancing. You know, she's doing all this stuff, and it's like,
Oh,
she's having a breakdown.
Yep, that is 100% what a mental breakdown looks like.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get plastered and dance.
Yeah,
It's the only
especially
thing-
after her daughter says, you know, her daughter says, I wish you were drunk. Like, she literally says to her daughter, I can let you go. I can get you out of here. I can
not do this.
Save you from all of this. And her daughter's like, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's the Mon Mothma story. And that's only just part of it, because there's so many other things as well.
Oh
like,
my
I mean, Quinny, you had raised the point, which I think was interesting about the episode when they're on, as we find out, Yavin. And Yavin is the planet, Jill, that the rebellion is on in episode 4.
Thank you.
And it's like, it's the 4th moon of Yavin, because Yavin is the gas giant. And in episode 4, it's called the Battle of Yavin, when they blow up the first Death Star, which is what the code is on the front.
BBY. And admittedly,
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
when that popped up on the screen, I thought, that's probably a little bit fucking obscure for the average viewer.
Is that big black Yodas?
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a
Three
new
big black
droid?
Yodas.
Tell me more about
Yeah,
BBY3.
I
I
love
love him. I love BBY3.
So to take that back to what Quinny, I think you had mentioned, is like watching the two, like him go back with the stolen ship and find out that there's like other people, and he's sort of sitting there going, wait, we're all on the same side. Why are you fighting each other? Was a great metaphor for what is considered the problem with left politics.
Oh my God. That shit show of running into like a little rebel branch that don't know whether they're Arthur or Martha was just insanity.
Because they couldn't figure out who was in charge. The more important thing was like, no, who's in charge? We need to figure out who's in charge. And
I'm wearing
like-
the pants, so I'm going to be in charge.
And then
yeah,
they're like,
let's
"We're all
kill
the
each
same
other
side."
about it.
But I loved that, and I've had a couple of people saying, "Oh, I think that was a boring sort of side story, and it went nowhere." I'm like, but that that is why the Empire controls the universe, and the rebellions, struggle to get moving because there's infighting, there's factionalism, and at one point, you've got Andor who has literally stolen a ship, and it's a prototype ship.
Yeah.
And they are pulling it with ropes inch by inch to shoot each other with it. And you're like, how fucking stupid are you?
Yeah.
I did enjoy him trying to pilot a ship that was
Yes,
so
he had no
foreign.
idea how to fly.
Yeah.
I love that bit in the first episode with the officially called range troopers, with the big furry one that
Okay.
was wearing all that stuff. It's like someone had put up a thing going, "You think you're having a bad day at work?" From the guy who missed at point blank range with a rocket launcher shooting at
And then got
someone.
blown the
He's
fuck
just like,
away.
"Fuck."
That's some good shit.
And then what was the other one? And we've got like Big Fash Daddy and Mummy.
Oh yes, Cyril and Daedra, the power
Oh my
couple.
God.
And also the rest of the banality of the Empire that goes on with it, with Mendo, Daddy Mendo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that meeting. I'm like, oh, we're gonna talk about uniforms. Are we like getting like talking about new fabrics? We're gonna see some swatches. And I'm like, no.
No, but it's about
No.
we're going to crush this planet that has a really spectacular resource, and here's the way we do it by making them the bad guy.
Yeah. It's almost like they've taken a playbook of American foreign policy.
I wanted more flowcharts in that meeting. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Though I did love how completely fucking oblivious to the world marketing was. Sorry, optics.
Optics, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about this. I just wanted them to have a slide deck.
Yes.
I mean, I feel hilarious because like on the ABC there is that show Optics,
yeah.
which is
It
about
was
marketing.
very much that.
And I feel like all those actors should have actually stuck their hand up and go, can I be in that optics team in Andor? Because that would have been choice.
One other group of characters we haven't mentioned is also Bix and the people on, I'm not sure the name of the planet, but the farming planet. That was an interesting story, and one that had something that made a lot of people very, very angry.
Well, it made some people angry.
Well,
Good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of commentary about the fact that a lot of people going, why do we need to have sexual assault in Star Wars? That's unrealistic. And I was like,
Unrealistic.
motherfucker, please.
It's real. It's part of life.
Mhm.
There are like people out there that are so depraved that they would do something like
You're
that.
trying
And,
to
like, I mean, you have a villainous organization like the Empire, and you don't think it's filled with rapists?
Yeah, it is. It is a standard tactic of fascist dictatorships that sexual assault is a part of their playbook. Is it icky? Yes, absolutely. Is it part of what happens? Yes. Think the Nazis were just shit because they shipped people to concentration camps? No.
It's like, oh no, it's like, this is like this is adult Star Wars where adult things happen.
Yeah, if you don't think Nazis were sexually assaulting Jewish people, then you need to get your head checked.
Absolutely. But so many people got so upset by the use of the fact that they used the word rape. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with people?
Yep.
It is what it is. We're
Yeah.
pointing it out because it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good people doing this.
No.
It's the bad guys.
Yeah. The Empire is about power. Power is about domination. This is just one of the aspects that they use to dominate and seize control.
Yeah.
And it's
think-
it's bad and scary.
I think you need to take a look at yourself if you get offended by somebody using the word rape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I find it just
Maybe check
ridiculous.
your privileges.
Yeah.
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 Missy's asking the question. Says you didn't recall Deirdre, sorry, getting with Soy Boy or Cyril.
It was so implied in the first season because he was kind of totally infatuated with her, and I feel like that puppy dog infatuation just kind of got expanded on because remember we took a skip forward in time.
Yeah, but
You know.
but also there was the whole thing that he saved her on, what was the name of the planet?
Ferrix.
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 Like, yeah, in the whole big riot on Ferrix, he saves her, and there was a bit at the end where it looked like she was perhaps slightly less disgusted with him.
Yeah, but I still feel like she is disgusted with him constantly, and she's disgusted with herself because of choice. Like, it's just kind of, it's a perfect relationship. I'm just happy to see them still there and having that wonderful mother-in-law scene. It's great.
I fucking loved the bit that I read about or saw an interview with the actor who plays Cyril. That thing with him lying on the bed. Yeah, that was just him. Like, they just said, do something, do whatever Cyril would do. He was just like on the bed out.
He would nope out because his mum's being mean and just go and lie on the bed until his girlfriend takes the power away and becomes the next
introvert behavior. It's like, oh, I'm being overstimulated, I need to go and disassociate and then I'll come back.
Meanwhile, less than 10 feet away, his girlfriend is just destroying his mother.
Yeah. That woman need to be taken down. So that I liked that moment. It was good.
Look, I'm slightly sad that Brasso kind of died. I mean, that was just, but I mean, this kind of is also the other part of it is like bad shit happens. And people get lost all the time, especially in this stuff when you're running and for dumb reasons. It wasn't heroic. He didn't sacrifice himself by doing, he was just trying to get away and he got shot. And I like how they sort of deal with that, and they have to keep moving.
And they even set it up earlier by saying, with the young kid, if you don't take your speeder, to go and hook up with your farmer girlfriend, somebody, something bad's going to happen. Something bad happens.
Yeah.
I love Brasso though, so I was very sad to see him go.
Yeah, I know. But he did get his moment in the sun by cracking the skull of an Imperial with a brick. Yeah.
Actually, I fucking loved the very subtle bit with the farm owner, where, he...
ratting out his illegals.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I love that because that's Brasso going, I'm going to let you off the hook. I was like, oh, fucking nice work.
Look, it continues. It continues to entice and enthrall, and I'm really looking forward to watching the next 3 episodes in about 5 seconds.
Yes, we have Forrest Whitaker absolutely chewing the scenery as Saw Gerrera in the next 3 episodes.
He better come back up because I got to say, Saw Gerrera is not my favorite character in the Star Wars over either Clone Wars or live action. But it's all got to get to the less stressy, more depressy end of this because it is a TPK movie that it does finish with. So no one's looking for a happy ending here.
Not gonna get one.
No.
The only one who comes out of this alive is Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for fucking K2 to show up.
Everyone is waiting
5
for
episodes
K2
now. No K2. Come on.
Everyone is waiting for K2 also.
I've heard a weird rumor, and I'm reticent to share it because if it does come true, I'd be like, oh, okay. So, do you want the rumor or do you want me to leave it?
Why not?
You put it out there.
Spread it out here or create it.
Put it out
we don't
there.
know. You could have created this. What's your difference to the
I
rumor?
read it somewhere online and I went, The rumor being that at some point in time, maybe Beto Emo is damaged, and it's his personality that is put into K2SO.
Oh, well,
Right.
I was like, interesting.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
think
droid
so.
that's on its last legs.
Well, we'll see, Quinny. I don't like your spurious theory of just come and thrown out in a cat amongst the pigeons kind of way. No?
what do we think about the whole 3 episodes at a time thing?
I'm kind of enjoying it. Yeah.
You've
I
s-
mean,
you've
when
seen a
they
couple.
announced that it was going to be, like 3, what do you call it, like bottle series within a series.
Mm.
I thought, oh, that's going to be interesting, and I think I'm kind of digging it because it's great. You get to binge 3 episodes in a row, and it is self-contained within those 3 episodes. Because now that I've jumped to episodes 4, 5, 6, like we've gone another year into the future, and so it's like it's moving it along. Because we can't exactly drag this out when we know that Rogue One is at the end of it.
And it makes it more interesting too when you it leaves a little bit of space for things to be explained later, like they can make more. It's like, he's got a new haircut, or this is now he's doing this over here, and this is how far the rebellion. Like, it doesn't have to pull or like end up in that kind of Game of Thrones thing, which is like, we just have to explain everything.
The thing I'm enjoying about it, like, 'cause when they first announced they were doing that, I was like, oh, but I like a weekly drop because I want this to last. I hate the idea of this being over too quickly. However, I looked at those first 3 episodes and went, oh, there's no way that you could like do this kind of any other way. You couldn't just have the first episode because it wouldn't feel like enough. You can have the first 2 because then you're midway through a story. So your first arc kind of has to be 3. And then do you do single episodes for the rest of the season? No, not really.
No.
And the reason I like a weekly drop is because it gives people an opportunity to discuss.
Sure.
Like, it becomes a thing for society to talk about. We can have our memes of Cyril on the bed and everything.
I feel like the 3 episodes though is kind of like a mini movie.
Very much so. Like, so much so. Those first 3, I was like, holy shit. And it felt like Andor movie 1.
Yeah.
Whereas the first season felt a lot more episodic.
Yeah. Look,
but so good.
I'm just going to look forward to the spin-off series where we see Stellan Skarsgård getting his human hair unit installed when he goes to see Mon Mothma, and then having it removed when he goes to see his rebels.
Yep.
That hairpiece is amazing.
I love it.
As is his smile.
Yeah. Look, yeah.
I didn't even. Oh, did you notice that first part of that episode on Chandrilla was a one-er?
Oh.
No, walking through the landing platform.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that until I watched the making of thing, that her talking to Luthen and everybody on the landing platform, all of that is a single shot. I was like,
well, they can't do anything like that because Adolescence is the current king of single shot TV, and I still haven't watched that either.
Oh,
man.
Okay, so wait, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, we should wrap it up because we've still got to give a social thing.
Yeah.
And before we do that, though, just remember that next month is anime.
Yeah.
Still, let us know if there's any animes that we should be doing. No, I'm not watching Ranma.
No. Hey, Ranma is great.
No, but not all of it.
Amazing.
Yeah, but not all of it. I can't do it
Just
all.
watch the new one. It's only like 12 episodes.
12 episodes?
They go for 20
in
minutes.
This economy?
Yeah, 12 episodes in this economy?
Watch it on the bus.
Buses in this economy?
Anyway, Thunderbolts. Go and watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the promotional material of like the best movie since Endgame. I'm like, that's a strong statement.
It is.
It's
because I particularly liked the Marvels, even though like men poo-pooed it. But Thunderbolts is pretty much up there. It's up there. It's good.
Also, remember the Spider-Man Far From Home came out after Endgame.
Oh,
like it's a big fucking
call. Big call.
Look, my social reaction is thumbs up.
Yeah.
Which was strange and interesting to watch. And a lot, I know I found a lot funnier than I thought it was. I didn't know what to expect when I went in.
Comedy moments. I do like those characters. They all have their funny little quirks, and seeing them together was good. I was skeptical because like some of the trailers were like really painting it as a Disney Marvel version of Suicide Squad, and I'm like, ugh, didn't like that. But there was no Skybeam.
No
so
Skybeam.
it was fine.
Yeah.
Almost Skybeam. Almost Skybeam.
Oh, how do I feel about Seb's new hairdo? I like going back to the long hair Bucky. I think long hair Bucky is good for a reason.
But he's a
Have you seen
senator.
interviews with him recently? Shaved head.
Oh,
That's, I think, what she's referring to.
that's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that yet. I'll go and have a look. I'll let you know, Karina.
Yeah.
But 2 post-credit scenes, guys. Just FYI,
stick
you're gonna
around.
go and watch it. There's the
And-
little one after the title credits, and then there's the one at the end. And you need to stay for the one at the end.
Yeah, I got to admit, the final one at the end was actually one of those ones like, oh man, you're going to put something at the end there. And they didn't just do a little one, they did a quite long one.
Was,
You're like,
it was quite a long one, and it was definitely worth it. Yeah.
And very funny too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say my favorite phrase is lots of vertical integration in this Marvel film. So, you know, they're pipelining stuff real hard.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But also
yeah.
they're getting, I like that they're getting quite self-aware and self-referential about that. Like the whole character of Val is sort of all about the vertical integration and the marketing and
What are the optics?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a woman that can pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really pleasantly surprised. But also I will say, and with all the love in the world, fuck you to Travis, who after the film said, and something along the lines of, well, of course you fucking liked it, you like shit, and used the phrase, at least this has made David Ayer's Suicide Squad look better. And I was like, get the fuck out. So
he is so unpredictable with the stuff that he likes and the stuff that he dislikes. I can't predict anything he's going to say. He's so hot and cold.
He liked Working Man, so.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
Another David Ayers film.
our
like-
great contrarian, Travis. But
Yeah.
on that one, I was like, I don't know, man. I had a good time, and I watched it and I laughed, and I did
Yep.
not expect to laugh in this film.
I always expect a bit of a laugh with Marvel, but I was pleasantly surprised at how A24 it was.
Yeah.
Like somebody
Look,
else said,
I
it's
think-
like a horror film.
Yeah, the real
They
villain.
managed to like pull off a story that was not overcomplicated, and I think it just put to shame like a lot of other Marvel movies that did too much, did way
I love
too
the
much.
fact that we
This
didn't have a
was
giant
just-
fucking CGI fight at the
Yeah.
end where everybody's flying around and stuff.
Yeah.
This was an emotional story.
It was very simple, and they executed it well.
Yes. Go and watch it.
Yeah. Also, Bucky. Yeah.
And next week we'll come back and perhaps review that more fully and with more explanations, and also whatever other anime things we'll do because it's May tomorrow.
Yeah. And we promise we won't go for an hour and a half like the new Rockstars one surely will.
Just as long to review. Thanks everyone. Hope you had a lovely April, and tomorrow it's gonna be May. Yeah, I gotta go watch Andor. Okay. Thanks everyone. We're gonna go now. Thanks everyone in the chat for joining
Thanks,
in, and
chatters.
we'll see you
We
next
love you
time.
guys. We got nobody to raid.
No, that's all right. We're just gonna go.
We gotta go. We
gotta go. Gotta go.
Gotta go. Bye. Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise.